If he could have done some cool thing on a four-wheeler, he'd have done that too. But this was the next best thing. He had talked about hunting and the whole thing, and all his promos building up to it. So I thought it was a nice touch. It's just not quite as iconic as the beer truck.
Yeah,
not even as iconic as the milk truck, really.
Bro, you didn't know?
Bro, you didn't.
Bro. Eric Bischoff recently claimed that AEW isn't WWE's competition. He said this. He actually said the AEW is not a competition. No matter how much Tony Khan wants to believe it is, it's not. You're in the same business, Tony, but that's not the same thing as being in competition. Vince Russo, does Eric Bischoff speak the truth with that quote that I just
1,000%. I was just reading I was just watching an interview this week, and it was a pretty high level person, and they weren't even in the business. I don't even remember. It was like a celebrity. It was like an actor. And I was just watching this story this week, and the person was talking to Vince about, Vince, who do you see as competition? And Vince actually said, well, Disney used to be competition to us, but they're not anymore. Bro, that's Vince's competition.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Bro, he didn't even recognize WCW until they started winning the ratings.
Yeah.
Then he was like, okay, what's going on here? Up until that point, bro. I mean, Brian, am I right or wrong?
Yeah, you're 100% right. And I think you're right about Bischoff being right too. I don't think, look, he had a great quote, right? You are in the same business. You have a wrestling television show on.
Right.
But don't act like you're making the income or you know what I mean? This is a business. It's not just, who I like better on wrestling.
No.
It's a business.
Yeah.
And one of them's been doing it a really long time. Look, in 40 years, we'll have this conversation again and see if it's his competition then,
Yeah, good point.
Bro,
Vince,
I'll be 101, bro.
You'll be dead.
When are we having this conversation? Yeah, well, let's assume let's hope I'll be dead at 101. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't want to be out. I don't want to be down here forever.
Yeah. Indeed. So, Vince, you, back in the Attitude Era, a big thing with WWE was Monday Night Football as far as competition. Was that, how much did Vince really focus on the numbers of Monday Night Football, and how much was that a driving force for Raw to be must-see?
Bro, it really wasn't. The driving force was we were all going to write the best show we possibly could. I mean, that's it. You've got no control over Monday Night Football. You got no control over anything else that's on television. Our goal was to write the absolute best show we could be every Monday night, and that's how we went about it. I'm sure Brian did the same.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
Brian, you being there with this writing, did you or the boys ever look at Monday Night Football as some type of goal to at least get with?
Yeah, it's definitely not only competition, it just kills you every Monday.
Yeah.
But so we started in the last couple of years while I was up there, and this is probably 5 years ago, started trying to figure out kickoff and what segments in and trying to figure out how to game it.
Yeah.
And there's no way you can do it because you just can't. It's not a science. And so you end up right back where Vince said, we just write the best show we can and know they're going to steal a lot of our numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Austin's Beer Choice segment, one of the classic moments of WWE Raw history. So recently on SummerSlam, we got another segment that regarding a motor vehicle coming to a ring, which was by way of bulldozer from the Brock Lesnar coming down. And actually, I heard that there was somebody who practiced that, but it wasn't Brock. So he just
it was Vince, bro. Vince came out of retirement.
I wouldn't doubt that one bit.
This is how you do it, pal.
I wouldn't doubt that one bit.
So
he do it to show you it's safe.
Yeah. So he hits the ring. It scoots back a few feet, seemingly, but so he was able to prop up a side of the ring and lift up a corner of the ring, and it calls for a very wacky, memorable spot. So that compared to the beer trust segment, is it even close, Brian, or no?
No, I don't think it's even close. But look, it's also just happened like a week ago, so I don't, or 4 days ago, whatever. But so I just don't think it's there yet. Was it cool? I think was it Cowboy Brock in Nashville who had wore his cowboy hat? Heck yeah. If he could have done some cool thing on a four-wheeler, he'd have done that too. But this was the next best thing. He had talked about hunting and the whole thing, and all his promos building up to it. So I thought it was a nice touch. It's just not quite as iconic as the beer truck.
Yeah,
not even as iconic as the milk truck, really.
I agree. Yeah, that's a good point there. Vince, what do you think?
Well, bro, they're always going to compare it to the original. You know what I'm saying? And that's unfortunate. I love that, bro, I love it. It's creative and it's different. But I think the difference with Steve was, bro, every week he was getting over Vince in a creative way, right? Filling up his convertible with cement,
the bang.
So it was always like, what, the Zamboni. It was always like, what is he gonna do next? I just wish, again, from a writing perspective, if they knew they were gonna do this, they should have built up to it a little bit more. And maybe Brock was the hunter during a couple of episodes. Because I think that's what really got the beer truck over. It was like, what is this lunatic going to do next?
Yeah, agreed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of lunatics, you got two outlaws and a sheriff over here with the outlaws, keeping them in check, keeping them in order, making sure.
Why do you make me wear these fuzzy handcuffs?
The saga continues, ladies and gentlemen. You might not get that answer here, but stay tuned. Maybe you'll get it next
for episode. Outlaws After Dark.
Outlaws After Dark. I love it. On the Patreon, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be a paywall behind that one.
That's my fans only, or whatever it's called.
Only fans. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Just pictures of my big feet.
Bro, don't laugh. People would pay money to see
I know.
that.
Yes, they would.
You know that, Brian, right?
Only in America.
Yes. People have feet fetishes and people have Brian James fetishes. Ladies and gentlemen, another yet eventful, action-packed episode of the Wrestling Outlaws. You've got the WWE Hall of Famer, Road Dogg, Brian James. You got the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, Vince Russo. Both of them former lead writers, ladies and gentlemen. Also a commonality there. I am Dr. Chris. Have a good night, everybody. Solo!